It's going.
Oh, that's fancy.
Mm-hmm.
It says YouTube right there. That is fancy.
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Rosa. How are you?
I'm good. Trying to do this the nice way. Okay, good. Yes. Now I just want to see if people can comment. Live chat. Oh, okay.
Are you using a program?
Hmm?
Are you using a program?
No, I'm just using Zoom.
But it goes right to YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Did not know that.
Yep.
That's
yes,
good
it
to know.
is. I've learned it. All the stuff that I do, I've been trying to learn on my own and then do it.
which is really smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people are not gonna tell you. Sometimes people don't tell you, you know, they want to see you succeed, but not better than them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you on that.
So yeah, but we'll give people a few more minutes. It's 6:57, just so that if they're watching, that they can go on live.
Yeah, no problem.
And
I
let
got
me
time.
see. You got time. Let me see if I can go here. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, this is my pleasure. This is long overdue.
I know. It's crazy.
I like your little vision board in the back there.
Oh yeah, we can talk about it if you want. I've had it for a little bit, but I will show you since we're waiting for everybody for a few minutes. So these are my wants.
Yeah.
Can you see it all, right?
Yeah.
These are my wants. So I want like to write a book. I want time and freedom. I want to be able to have time with my son. I want to be able to help others. And with that time and freedom, I want to be able to travel. I want to always remember where I came from, especially when you become more successful.
Yeah.
I want to be able to help the orphanage that I came from, which is called Fundaniños.
Oh, wow.
And I want to be able to educate myself, keep educating myself. I love the sun, the beach, and being happy. And I want to I want to be able to be financially free. And when I can, with all of those things, all those ones that I want, they can be reached through hard work. And
100%.
you know, I have to remember why I want it, what it will take to get there, which is through hard work, dedication, and it takes courage to be different. And vocalize.
I like that one, Rosa. I like that a lot. It takes courage to be different. I really like that.
Yeah.
Can I use that? Can I post that to the story? That's a really good one.
Yeah, you can. It takes courage to be different. Yeah. Because everybody wants to be doing the same thing, but just like Gary Vee said, you have to be different. Why would people want to listen to you? Because you bring something different.
100%. Yeah.
So everybody already, okay, it's 7:00. We'll start now, okay? So I want to say hi to everybody who is watching us right now. And I have my guest, Coach Jay, and we will talk about health and fitness and just how he started his, journey with health and fitness, how he has been able to accomplish having his own gym, which is business in itself. And just the fact that the way we met was through Gary Vee, watching Gary Vee through the pandemic of COVID-19. And remember, everybody that is watching, my just the way I talk, the way I say things, and the people that I even bring here is to have a platform where they can share their truth, and also share their experiences, because a lot of the times is that we want to see people like us, like ourselves, like Coach Jay,
Yeah.
who are actually doing something for themselves. What is it that they're doing that maybe is catching your attention, and you might be wondering, why is it that you cannot accomplish it? So this is a platform of telling the truth, telling our truth, and
Yeah.
also talking about fitness, is
Yep.
talking about helping and educating others, especially our young people out there, because I know that I have a lot of my viewers are young, um,
Yeah.
maybe high school to college, going to college. So I just want to be able to be an inspiration to them in the way I act and the way I do things. So um,
100%.
yeah, so everybody, thank you for watching again. I appreciate it. It's awesome. Again, yo puedo hablar en español, pero yo no hago esto en español. Pero si lo quieres, me puedes decir y yo te lo puedo decir. Yo soy de Guatemala. I'm from Guatemala. And I once was an orphan, and I didn't have my parents who took care of me. I was not educated. I came here to this country not knowing one word of English except maybe I'm hungry. That was the only thing. And I've been able to continue to live life the best way that I know, and the best way that I think that I keep learning about life in general. And I don't let life, like, I don't let life obstacles keep me down. And yes, we're all human beings. Yes, I've cried. Yes, I felt pain. Yes, I felt like giving up at some point. But for some reason, there's always something in my heart that says, you can do it. The next day is a new day, so you can do it. Um,
100%. Amen to that. Good for you, man.
So on that note, I want to introduce you to Coach Jay, and Coach Jay is going to be able to, hey, Vanna. Vanna is actually saying hi right now, which is awesome.
Yeah, we love her. We love her.
Yes. So we're gonna, Coach Jay is gonna introduce himself, and I met Coach Jay again through Gary Vee, watching Gary Vee, and he actually was on Gary Vee. And every morning I literally was like, just like waking up just to watch Gary Vee with my son, drinking my coffee, trying to get through that positive motivation that he always has. So
yeah.
Do you mind introducing yourself and just telling us a
little
little bit?
No, not at all.
Who you are?
Like Rosa said, my name is Coach Jay. I've been a personal trainer and Group X instructor for the last, now I've been personal training for about 20 years. I got into Group X later on when I went from personal training into group classes, which was an amazing transition. And I look back now and I'm like, wow, what a good transformation that's been, and taking the time now and looking back. But I am heart of hearts, like a personal trainer. Like I eat, breathe, sleep, people staying fit and staying active. I'm currently working on a new project, which I'm really, really excited about, because like you said, you got to evolve and you got to want to better your life. And it's great sitting here, Rosa. First of all, thank you for inviting me on your show. Second, it's like just to hear your story, like, not having a mom or a dad and being an orphan, and only word you knew was I'm hungry. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, like, that's so humbling. Like, to me, it's such a humbling experience to be able to talk to somebody like you. Like, it should be the other way around. I again, like, I really appreciate you bringing me on. So like, you got to continue to share your story. You got to continue to do what you need to do for your family, for your son as well. Because you are definitely heading in the right direction. So thank you for always acknowledging who you are and where you came from, because that is 100% so true, because you got to remember where you came from.
Oh, yes. So
Like
where
what,
did you
yeah.
grow up? Yeah, where did you grow up, and what is it that you did at your younger age, so that people know that?
I mean, I was always into sports.
Okay.
The very first sport I think my parents put me in was football,
Mm.
and little pee-wee football. And then from there, I had just a natural ability to play soccer. So soccer is actually my first sport that I actually fell in love with.
Mm. I
And
play soccer too, so we're both
yeah.
good with that.
Yeah. So growing up, I played soccer, and then, as I got older, my friends got older. Everybody was playing basketball, and then it was just like, I hit I think it was grade 7, grade 8, grade 9. I still played soccer, but I was starting to play basketball a little bit more. And then grade 10, I made the switch to only basketball.
Okay,
And then
that's awesome.
Yeah, eat, sleep. I got my Raptors, got 'em shirt, champions.
Nice.
Until someone proves us otherwise. But no, it's a sport I love. God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite player, outside of Michael Jordan. Just resonating with him on so many levels of just, going through the motions and wanting to execute at the highest level. I look at that, even my own craft. You could do bicep curls, but there's so many ways you could do bicep curls, and there's so many ways you could try to master it, right? And that was one thing about Kobe, is like, he always tried to master, even though it was the simplest thing, he would try to master it, right? So I always appreciated him for that. And I think I've learned a lot, like just watching him over the years, and listening to him, and gravitating to somebody that you're trying to catch, right? Like even though our spaces are different, like I'm a personal trainer, he was a basketball player, just trying to catch him on that level, right? Like just was always a great thing to motivate me.
That's good. I think a lot of our kids, especially nowadays, I know that they have somebody that they look up to, and that they actually want to be able to be, like they follow in their footsteps. And sometimes that could be a positive thing, or it could be a negative thing, depending on who it is that they're trying to follow, and who are they trying to be like. Now, with you growing up, because I know that I work with some kids who are, most of them get suspended, or they get in trouble in the class, or maybe they're the type of kids who, some teachers, or maybe most teachers, they tell them that they're stupid, that they're not gonna go anywhere. And that's why they might turn into doing nonsense, just to try to get an attention of somebody. What would you say, did you ever struggle in high school, and how is it that you turned that around?
Great. That's a fantastic question. I gotta say, I used to live in the city, and my parents moved me to where the area that we're in now, which is about a 20-minute drive from where we were before. And I never forget meeting a gentleman, my grade 5 teacher. I always talk about him. I even on my lives, I've talked about him. His name is Mr. Pardee Malik. He was grade 5. He was my special ed teacher. So from grade, I guess, junior kindergarten to grade 4, I was in a regular class. And then it wasn't till I got to grade 5 that they put me in the special ed class.
Okay.
Needless to say, I met him, and he saw how upset I guess I was at being pulled out of a normal class into this class, right? And I'll never forget this conversation. I'll tell him to his face. I've told him, when I left, just to bring in context, I used to work for a very well-known gym here in Canada. And when I was leaving there, I was there for 7 years. I accomplished a lot in my 7 years at that gym. He came to my going away party. So it was really nice to have him there. But I always tell him it was because of him saying, like, if you want to work, if you don't want this label, you got to be willing to outwork everybody in the room every day of your life. And I took him seriously. So
Mm.
every
Do you
day I
think
just, yeah.
do you think it was his patience, or do you think that it just took that one teacher because you've had and you've experienced other criticism from
I,
other teachers?
I think it was more the fact that, one, he was a great communicator. Like
Mm,
he really broke it down to your level, right? So I had
okay.
him in grade 5, I had a grade 6, grade 7, and even in grade 8, right? So I had
Mm-hmm.
him 4 years of my life.
Yeah,
And it was just the way he explained things and the way he communicated. And he didn't talk down to you. He just talked to you at your level. And
that's awesome.
he used to do after school hockey games,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody used to put up I never forget it, he used to put up a sign up sheet on his door, and people used to run to sign up on the door. Some days it
Wow.
was like grade 5s versus grade 6s, or grade 7s versus grade 8s, right? Like
Yeah,
it was always that good spirited hockey battle. But he really resonated with a lot of the kids, and really felt them, make them feel comfortable. The other person, I guess, very monumental. There was 3.
mm-hmm.
Very monumental was my high school coach, high school basketball. Mike Foster was a huge one,
Mm,
huge, to the point like years after, obviously graduating college, and then going into personal training. He brought his daughter to come train with me. He felt
mm,
that confidence. So it was almost like a full life cycle, right? Like
yeah.
here I am as a teenager, 14, 15, 16-year-old, and he's training me in basketball. And then years later, I'm training his daughter in strength training because she's a semi-pro golfer. It was just, it's
Wow.
too good. Yeah, it was too good to be true. So he was one. And then probably the most, other than those 2 gentlemen, my college coach, my college strength and conditioning coach, Dave Buchanan. Uh,
Okay.
Man, it was like everything from how to act as a man to, you know, just reading the Bible to like just everything he taught me, everything he taught me. And I'm forever grateful for those 3 guys, because it was
Yeah.
different parts of my life, me outside of my parents, but from a standpoint of growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and teachers, those 3 for sure: Mr. Malik, Mike Foster, Dave Buchanan.
The fact that you actually, I mean, I think that even with everybody that is watching, I think we can all resonate with um, the fact that we've always had somebody, a few teachers that actually believe in us, even
Yeah,
though we've, we might feel like we're stupid or we're dumb. And in your case, the fact that you had somebody from middle school to high school to college,
yeah,
you know, you just need a few people, even yourself and your parents, maybe your parents, but yourself mostly. If you have a few people who are believing in you, you can do anything that you want, and you can continue to make better choices and better decisions. So like
100%.
my thing for even our viewers and anybody that's going to watch this is, just remember, you might have so many people who put you down and who will call you names, or who will say you'll never make it, you'll never be anything. But just know that if you have that one person, and a lot of you guys might know me, like if I'm your teacher and I've been your teacher, I believe in you. I say,
Right.
hey, you can turn it around. Just because you make a bad mistake, that doesn't mean that makes you a bad person
Person.
and a
100%.
bad individual. So thank you for sharing that, because I think a
Yeah.
lot of our kids need to hear that, and a lot of our viewers sometimes need that. Yeah, these teachers did something for me, and actually it helped me to be where I'm at right now.
100%.
So
I just wish, as like, even as an adult, I'm
mm-hmm,
thinking now, like, adult, there was a pivotal part where I left Coach Dave, and like in my 30s and early 40s now, like I wish I had him, right? As just from a business standpoint, and just staying on the straight and arrow, right? Like you get lost some days, and then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, oh my God, how did this happen, right? Which is
yeah,
how we met, right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I was
and
dark. I tell people I was in a dark space, and then I started texting the text line, and I
yeah,
texted the text line and reached out to Gary, and you know, it was quite some time before I got that message back.
I've been
And
texting and I haven't gotten that chance. So, but it's okay. You
keep
know why? Because after a while, I noticed that with everybody that goes on to Gary Vee, I know he's sending a message to me. He's answering my question. So I don't necessarily want to be on just to be on. I want to
right.
actually, like, if I'm gonna go on, I know that I'm gonna need like I have a question that maybe nobody has asked. But so far, everybody that's been on, I'm able to take away from that and actually do it myself. So, but
100%.
I'll keep trying though, because
Hey,
you actually did
keep
it.
keep going, and hey, Twitter, hit him up on Twitter. He
Yeah.
loves Twitter. The whole
Yeah, I
team,
know.
right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm gonna do that for
Just
sure.
yeah, just keep going. You know, it's, and I know it was a big deal. It was a big deal for even for me. I remember getting that when the text comes in, it's like, hey, you've been chosen, and they're addressing you. They're like, hey, Coach Jay, you
Mhm.
know, it's Zane. I want to let you know that your question, Gary wants to entertain your question, and I never forget crying like this. Be like,
Oh my gosh.
is this really happening right now?
Yeah.
You
So
know,
did you like, you say you was going through something bad and you was reaching out so to hear something from somebody that you look up to and that you've been learning from?
yeah, I mean, I'd even find, and people, this is the amazing part. I'd even find, Gary,
Mm-hmm.
it's the fact that I was listening to Ivan Carmichael,
Mm.
and who's a big time YouTuber,
Mm-hmm.
and I was listening to him, and he had just posted something Gary was saying in one of his segments, and I was
Mm.
like, who is this Gary guy? I got to find him. And then I just dove in, and it was, you know how it is,
Yeah.
you're hooked. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
hooked. And I was just like, it's a cool guy. Like, he's saying all the right things. He's giving people really good you know, sound advice. And I'll never
A-
forget, man.
and he's realistic. That's what I like about it. He's very realistic. And even when I started like this whole, you know, like social media or even YouTube, um you know, like I've always said, I have an accent. I know that I have a story and I know I have a message to share to try to help others. Even if I help one person, it's okay.
Yeah,
But even with me, I noticed that, you know, like with struggles in school and high school, like when I came here, I
yeah,
remember being taken out of the classrooms because I needed my test read, and I felt so dumb. I felt so stupid. But
yeah.
now looking back, I knew that that was the right thing because I didn't understand the language. So I needed somebody who understood the language to be able to read it to me so I could do better. So I could do, you
One,
know, but I know I had kids like making fun of me. I remember also like one teacher in college, because
yeah,
I have a master's degree in education and math,
right,
and that one teacher told me, if you're gonna become a math teacher, don't you know that you're supposed to know what you're talking about?
yeah. I remember you telling me this. That's
And
crazy.
then to me, I was like, he used to make me feel so dumb, so stupid, so like bad. And at that moment too, even going to college, I had my son. So I was still like, he was a baby. I was raising my son and
Yeah,
going finishing college. And I felt so bad, but there was times where I literally cried so much that I was like, I was ready to just, okay, let me give up. But then I was like, if I give up, what is that going to lead to?
yeah.
So I always think like that. If you give up on your dreams, if you give up on yourself, where is that going to take you? You're just gonna stay what, bored, feel empty,
Yeah,
regretting things, and just because you let your emotion just keep taking the best of you. And
right.
even now, like my back actually gave out again the last few days, so I actually been on bed rest, icing my back. And to be honest, like I cry because I'm an athlete, I'm a go-getter, I'm always like doing something.
Right,
um but when my back gives out like that, I cannot do anything. I
right.
cannot do anything. I have my son literally like helping me. I have my boyfriend helping me.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but it's difficult. And there's times where I'm like, it has happened so many times now that I'm like, okay, this is gonna happen, but it's still painful. It's still like I
Right.
feel bad. Like I'm trying to figure out what it is that I need to do to that so that that doesn't continue to happen. But hey, look, I'm right here with you, and I'm like, yes,
Right.
at least I have Coach Jay on. I'm gonna continue on, figure
It's
it
all
out,
good.
keep going, have a smile, and keep going, because life is so hard. Life is really, really hard. But I think that even the message for everybody is just to keep going. So like even with you, you're a personal trainer, you are a group trainer, and you have your own fitness studio. How did that come to be? Because I know even with the struggles of having your own business and all the stuff, is difficult in itself.
When I left, it's funny because when I left the big box gym that was here, I didn't do anything.
Mm.
I literally just I just literally chilled for like 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the time I was dating someone. I was with them like every day, and then I never forget. She goes, "Jay, you got to get a job." I was like, because I was so exhausted over 7 years. Rosa, I worked like crazy. I had like 23 clients on the go working out two or more times a week. Right? Like,
Yeah.
and that was all of them. So I was working Monday. I think Sundays was the only day I didn't take off, that I took off, but Monday through Saturday for sure. And I just needed rest. So I took those 3 months off, and I never forget registering the business. And then I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? And at the time I was training a guy named Alex Cape, and his dad was a board member at a local church. And he was like, hey, we got this community center in the back that they owned. He's like, why don't you just come check it out? We won't charge you a lot. We know you. And maybe you run some classes. And I never forget doing my first class, one person showing up. Right?
It's okay. It's somebody.
Yeah. And listen, 2 years later, I had like 20 plus people, like
Wow.
3 times a week. And man, it was good times. Then I had the opportunity to move, and I went to another area that was about 10 minutes away, where I can go, instead of 3, I can go, 4 to 5 times a week. But that didn't end up happening. So what happened there is I went to this new spot, and the company at the time was like, well, we're going to give you 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, who's going to work out at, not knowing what I know now, who's going to work out at 6 o'clock in the morning? And I'm like, okay, just give me the time. Well, at that time, one person showed up, a good friend of mine. He just wanted to show up, Jonathan. Yeah. And he showed up. And then I was like, you know what? How about you give me an 8:30 time slot? And they were very apprehensive. They're like, nobody's going to come at that time in the area. A lot of people want to drop off their kids around the 8:30 time slot, and then do a 9 o'clock class that is a little bit more popular. I just like, give me the class. And I never forget doing the first class. There was 4 people there, which is funny because 2 out of the 4 follow me now and been following me, and we're actually members. One guy, he follows me, but it was his wife that was there. And then another guy doesn't follow me. He ended up working with me. So it was these 4 people. Following week, it was 6 people. Following week, it was 8, and it just spiraled into that. And that was just one day a week. Okay. So I had this 8:30 now, one day a week, fitting like, Rosa, the room was so tiny. I would fit like 18 people in this very small room and have like 18 people on the wait list. That's how busy. Yeah. So I just said to the company, I said, listen, give me a different time, or give me a different day. Let's split this up. So that was a Wednesday. I said, let me take Monday and Wednesday. Well, we did the Monday, and there was still a lot of people in the class and then a wait list. So it became a really good problem to have. Fast forward 18 months later, after doing this, I was doing about 22 classes a week.
Wow.
Crazy. So
wow.
turned this one class into 22 classes in an 18 months period. 19th month, they asked me to be an investor in the company. At that time, I said yes. I was having my first child. We thought it was a good risk. I mean, looking back now, you're like,
yeah.
To me, Gary would have said, don't take that chance. Go on your own, right? But listen, I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't do that with you. I'm telling you that honestly, right? We know the saying, ABC, adversity builds character. So I do that. And Rosa, when I mean literally 9 months later, after saying yes, they wanted out of this deal. So imagine I'm having my first 5 months later, and they wanted out with no getting my investment back. So I had to listen. It is what it is. And we had to bring a mediator in to mediate the rest of the negotiation, which, it's no here nor there. It was a great learning experience. I probably wouldn't have done it ever again if I had to, but it's all good. It was a great learning experience.
Yeah.
Take over the spot. Ran it for 5 years, had to close that location, kept Maple. And that's where that story becomes. This is how I end up on Gary V, right? Like, just that last year of business was just really, really tough. And I tell people all the time, right? Like, I give them the scenario. So if anyone's watching this, and just to bring it into context, I go from 175 clients I saw last year, June. Okay.
Wow.
So in 1 week, so last week of May up until June. So if you can picture this, in about a week and a half or week and a bit, I saw about 175. When I closed that location, the following day, I went from 175 to 17.
Wow.
I go from 17 on, let's say June 8th or June 7th to the second week in August. I got one client, one new person. So I go from 18. From August to December, I go from 18 to 44. So you can see now, we're starting to build some good momentum. This is where it gets really interesting. January 1st to the end of February, I get 11 more. So I'm at 55. March 1st, Rosa, is the first case of COVID in Toronto.
Wow.
Second week, it's multiple cases. By the 17th, I go from, so think about it, 175 to 17 to 18 to 44 to 55. When they said gyms have to close, I went to 0.
Ouch.
So
ouch.
you could,
That's to me, like, just hearing that, it's like you had a bad experience that you went through, and of course, even through the bad experiences and the bad choices, I guess maybe not choices, because it was
no, they were bad. You're absolutely right. Listen, I'll own up to it. Was very bad choices. Very bad choices. No, you used the correct word.
The right word. Okay, so even like when we make bad choices, we learn from them, and you learn from them, and you went to 0. Then you go from 0 to starting again, and then from there, COVID-19 hits. And now,
so COVID, I go from 55.
Yeah, 50. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you made it, and you went to 0, then you make it again, and you're on this role of going and getting more people and stuff like that. But then something else in life again hits you, and then you're just like, what? So how did you take that?
To be honest with Rosa, I've been through too much.
Yeah.
I really looked at this situation and I said, okay, I cannot be crushed from this. I never forget. I was like, there's no way I can sit here and not come out. And I literally, and I tell everybody, I'm telling you, this is the conversation I had with myself. And then I started telling people I was not going to come out, because we didn't know how long it was. They were saying 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
On Monday, this coming Monday, Rosa, when I go on my live, it will be 19 weeks that I've been in lockdown, right? So we all know the weeks that, because I mentioned every week.
Yeah.
I have not missed a day of work. I've gone in every day, Monday through Sunday. You see, I go multiple times lives and that, whatever the case may be. For 2 weeks, so from March 17th or March 18th to April 1st, I think it was roughly. I did all my workouts on Instagram.
Yep.
And I would have all my members who had accounts. Some of them didn't even have accounts.
Yeah.
They would come on. I did
like
that 2 weeks.
You mean the Zoom accounts, right?
No. I mean Instagram accounts.
Oh,
I didn't have Zoom.
Okay,
so I was
gotcha.
only doing Instagram live for 2 weeks straight.
Okay.
So everyone's logging on. So imagine they can see me and I can't see them. So talking about reinventing yourself as a trainer, right?
Yes,
Especially if you've never done virtual training before. So 2 weeks passed, and then one of the girls who does the back end stuff for me, she goes, Jay, maybe you go on Zoom. And I'm like, okay, let's register for it. To the point is, this time last year, Rosa, I couldn't even register for anything. I wouldn't be able to register. I wasn't in a financial situation where I could pay for anything. So to know that I had enough to just pay for Zoom's basic was a huge accomplishment for me. Now, going into that conversation, I said, whenever this comes back to whatever our new normal would be, I will not be last. I will be first coming out of here. I will be the first club. People will be like, man, I want to go to Coach J Fitness, or I'm going to stay at home and do online with Coach J, because I was going to make sure I was putting into work. So I go 2 weeks on Instagram, and I've gone 17 weeks on now between Instagram and Zoom. Now I've gone 17 weeks.
And that's
I've taught.
And
so
that's
at that time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just so you know, I've taught close to about now. I'm approaching. I think this week I will be at 300 classes on Zoom.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's pretty good. 300 classes.
300.
Wow. And now, and people, so even, okay, with all of this.
That's word of mouth. That's no advertising.
And that's okay. I think even what you're doing, and even the advice of what we've learned from Gary Vee and people that we follow, right? Yep. It's consistency. It's consistency, and also is literally what it is that you're doing. You're putting in the work. You're creating a community of people who know you. You're opening up yourself to like give them even free exercises and free 100%. Advice, or you're bringing on people to even share their own platform of what it is that they're going through. So again, you're creating your own community to the point that when your gym comes back to being open, you have so much support. And you have so many blessings, even with doing things now. So that to me, and that to anybody who's watching, it shows that if you're doing the work, you will see the results. We see so many people that we sit around and we blame everybody else. We sit around, we just give up so easily. We watch TV, we watch things that are not going to ultimately help us to where it is that we want to go in life. And this is why I like bringing people to share their own story and their own truth, because even with you, there's many reasons why you should have given up. There's many reasons. There's many reasons. Yeah, there's many reasons why you should have just blamed COVID, blame your situations before, just find a reason an excuse to say, this is why I'm not where I'm at.
100%.
This is why I'm not doing well. But instead of that, you're just like, okay, dang it. Okay, let me cry. Let me go through this moment, and then let me pick myself up. Okay, let me think. I have Ashley, the person that helps you. I have this person. Okay, let's talk. Let's put our minds together, our thoughts together. Let's bring something to the table. Let's 100%. Do something, and see what works and what doesn't work. And I think that's the encouragement that I want to bring to even everybody that's listening. Just you have to do something. And even with my boyfriend. And
Yeah.
I know that he, you know, like I did a video with him. He has many reasons why he shouldn't be in shape right now, why he shouldn't be, you know, he should be sad because he also lost his job with this whole COVID-19.
Yeah.
However, his mentality of staying strong and doing something for himself, he's doing it, and he's not finding no excuse to why he's not strong, why he doesn't have his eight pack or his muscles, or why he can't do, you know, why his body image
Yeah.
has to go away, and why he might not be working towards getting his even getting his personal training certification,
Right.
so that when all of this is done, he will be ready. You know, he will be
100%.
ready. And you know how many people wish bad on good people who are really doing good a job?
I know.
You
I know.
know, I've, and to me it's so bothering, because I'm like, if you see somebody who is good at something, who is great at doing what they do, which is,
Yeah.
in this case, is for you could be, you know, like your personal training, your mentality, bringing people in. Why wouldn't I want you in my team? Why wouldn't, if I'm a company that is looking for trainers, if I'm a person that is looking for individuals with like strong communication skills and is able to talk to anybody, why don't
Yeah.
I want them to do well? You know,
That
and
that's a person's insecurities,
that's
Rosa.
a person's insecurity, but that's also like a system insecurity too, because I feel like we have to think more and more for ourselves, and how we do not have to wait for nobody to tell you, hey, Coach Jay, you are worth being a personal trainer. You are worth doing this Instagram lives. You are worth of
Yeah.
getting a job. No, you're telling yourself, yes, I know I'm worth it, and I know I can do anything I want to do. You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
need to wait for nobody to tell you you're good. You know, you don't
No.
need to wait for
No.
nobody to say, okay, you can start now. You
Yeah.
know what I
You
mean?
know, it's funny that you said that, because I literally, just before I got on here, I mentioned there's a girl that does my class. She's been with me for about maybe 9-10 years.
Mm-hmm.
She's almost like a little sister to me. I literally sent her a message just before we got on here, Rosa. And I always tell her, I've been telling her since day one, she's a hustler. Like
Mm-hmm.
she really work when she does a job, she really works at it. Anyways, I sent her a message. I said, listen, you don't need to tell me an answer right now. Talk it over. She's getting married. We're very excited that she's getting married. Great guy. His name is Adam. I said, Wendy, like, talk it over with Adam, but tell me what the number is that you're looking for and how much commission you want to make. You don't need to tell me now, but let me know by Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
because when you work with good people, you want to see them succeed. I get what you're saying when you're around people that don't want to see you succeed. I get that, but I've never been in. I'm in a position now that I just want. I rather sweep floors and let her be CEO of the company, because I know she's going to put it in the right direction,
Yeah.
and I know she's going to be like, listen, Jay has little ones. He has to take care of them. We better do, this company better do well, or we're not all going to eat, right? So
Yeah.
we, for me, it's all about prosperity for everybody, Rosa.
Mm.
Like, if your boyfriend's out there and he's doing the work, I would even tell him to wait for the certification. I would say, listen, start studying now, but get your content. Start putting out stuff. What bicep curls? What
Mm-hmm.
he liked the ropes. I told him one of the things he started doing the ropes. I'm like, yo, I got to do a TikTok with this guy doing the ropes, because I'm a ropes guy. I taught a ropes course, right?
Yeah.
So for him, I would just say, listen, get to the books right now, learn your anatomy, do your work now, and then as you're doing that, start to build some content for
Mm-hmm.
for his Instagram, his YouTube, his LinkedIn, whatever the case may be, and start to, don't wait. That's one thing. Like,
Oh
I'm
no,
learning
we're
right now is
yeah.
I couldn't wait, Rosa. The why is so important. I got parents that that I love dearly and that I lean on a lot, and then my kids lean on me, or your mom leans on me. Like it's very important that we all support each other. Like it's super important, right?
The unity.
And people can count on you.
You know?
Like they can really count on you.
Yeah. And that's what I try to even create, even with myself, or just with all of this that we're doing. It's not about, oh my gosh, technology. It's not about even it's not about anything other than try to help people see something within themselves. So like maybe somebody can relate to you at what it is that you was going through. So this is why it's important to share our truth, to be honest, and to really say, wow, listen, I really messed up in this. I cried. I have my bad days. I've gone through all of it too. But guess what? I took it one step at a time. I say, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna continue to make it. And I always say it before, I'm a person that came from a whole different country. I was in the streets, meaning I was homeless since I could remember. And I should not be here. I should not be here, especially in a third world country where kids go missing, where kids get killed. I should not be here. But what I do know is that God has a plan for me and for everybody. And all I know is that his hands were around me like this. Because when I tell you I should not be here, I should not be here. I got hit by a car. Not one bone was broken. You know, I got sick. Like I didn't have to go to the hospital all the time. I went hungry. We were in the streets finding place to live and stuff like that. And one, there's two type of people. One, they could say, wow, I got a second chance to come here to America, but I'm going to blame where I grew up from or where I came from to make that decision. So I'm going to smoke, I'm going to drink, I'm going to choose not go to school. I'm just going to do whatever because, oh, poor me. My life sucked before. Or there's the other person like me who say, yeah, I came from a really, really bad situation. I didn't ask for it, but God gave me a second chance in life. And I took that as it's a great experience to say, wow, I know the difference between being very poor and having nothing and living in fear to coming here and saying, wow, I have a choice. We all have a choice at the end of the day. And those choices, you can have bad days, like my back. It messes me up every single time. I cry because I can't do nothing. But then I'm like, okay, it's gonna get passed by. I have people who love me. I surround myself with people that actually support me, who truly love me. And I get away with I take away anything that is not good for me, anything negative, because it's not gonna help me in my journey to continue, to keep going. So that's a lot of encouragement, even for our young kids, to continue to keep, if you're going through something bad, just to keep going, because life is like this
roller coaster
for real. And we've all experienced something in our life that can keep us down. But I hope that this actually helps. And I hope even with Coach Jay and you having your fitness studio too, like managing that through this whole COVID-19 thing too, you have to think outside the box to be able to continue, to be able to say, that you're making it, that you're doing something for yourself. And this is not the end. This is like another part of your life that you're just gonna become even more better at the end of the day.
Rosa, mark my words. I'm about to, and I don't want to say, I have a new terminology. When somebody applies for a job, it's not I'm going to work for, I'm going to work with. I said I'm going to make these applications that say I work with Coach Jay. I want to give the opportunity to 1,000 people. 1,000, not 100, not 1,000 people. Because there's a lot of people hurting that have stories like yours that I want to be able to say, hey man, I get it. Hey, I understand. Like, come in, share this story. How can we help? How can you help us? and go, right? Like, so this is not about it. It's so funny. I'm a personal trainer, but I'm heading a complete different direction now because I've accomplished everything, Rosa. Like, how many more classes can I teach? I've taught in 5 years. Here's the real breakdown. In 5 years, I've taught 13,000 plus classes. In
Wow.
5 years.
Yeah.
I've done 6,000 personal training one-on-one hours, and now 300. So I'm almost at 20 plus thousand hours of training in the last 5 years. What else? Like, at that point,
now it's like now it's like you are going to share your knowledge, your experience, so that you can build something stronger.
Great. I'm telling you,
greater, and help others too.
If I can share that, I'm building fitness equipment because there's so many people that want to work out, that want to empower, that not even the physical, Rosa, they need it for the mental. Yes. We have so many people that have anxiety, that have depression, that have, they're sometimes socially awkward. They don't know how to relate to a person who's gone to the gym, or they're scared to go to the gym because they're scared somebody's is gonna body shame them. That's so crazy to me, right? Like, that's so hurtful. Imagine you can't go a place that you want to go to, you can't go to because you're scared someone's gonna body shame you. Yeah. Listen, I tell people,
you have to become mentally strong.
100%. And if I could do that in the comfort of your own home with our online, and now we got fitness equipment, Rosa, I'm telling you, 1,000 people, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be
yeah, you can have online classes for people who you can build up until they feel comfortable going to the gym. And then you can have your gym too open to many people too. So at the end of the day, you'll be able to help.
Not even ours. We can have somebody that, we're helping, that's in, let's say in your area. Yeah. And now 6-7 months, they feel comfortable. They go and they hire your boyfriend. Yeah. Like, how awesome would that be? Right? I trained them for 6 months on Zoom, and then boom, they're like, you know what?
Okay,
I remember
I'm ready.
Rosa was talking about her boyfriend, and Jake, do you know his name? And I'm like, hey, here's his social media. Follow him.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's helping, and that's what I like. That's why I like bringing people like you even in this platform, because it's truly, you can feel the sincerity of somebody.
Man, it's gonna be great.
I'm actually like, I want to say that, like, I'm a Latina and I can smell bullshit from far away. And I say that because when people are really like sincere, I see it, like I see sincerity. But when people are just acting just to get the attention, just so that they can grow themselves, then that, to me, I don't like that. And I feel like the more people that are out there like yourself, and many other people too, even my boyfriend, I think that we can make this world like a better place too, even 100%. For our kids to grow up into it, and I appreciate that. So thank you for sharing your truth and your experiences, because
this is just the starting. This is just the starting. Even though we have to do it through this way, or one day we'll meet in person, we'll all be doing kettlebell swings together. It's it's one of those things where we'll listen. I always say it. I'm living until 200, so I'm gonna know you for your rest of your life, right?
Yes, so yes, for sure. We're both living till like 400. Yeah. Just like Gary Vee said, we have so much life to keep going there.
100%.
But where could people, get to you, like even get a hold of you through social media? You can share it right here.
Instagram at Coach J Fitness Studio 1. We have a fan page, which is the same handle at Coach J Fitness Studio fan page. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on
TikTok,
Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. It's all the studio names. So it's, you can find us there. And then obviously my website is coachj.ca. That's really easy. And that's where people will be able to find us. I found out about our new website on Tuesday. So we're going to start the process of that, under what the handles are, which is Coach J Fitness Studio. I'm excited about that because that's going to bring so much opportunities to everybody else. Really, like I said, I'll sweep floors, I'll clean equipment. I've done those things already. I'll relinquish the title of CEO and owner to somebody else because they might be more fitting for the job.
Yeah.
But to be able to help 1,000 people get employment right now, I think would be it would be so gratifying. And it's not even about the money. It's literally about helping those 1,000 people who have families, who are in situations like that you were in with your situation, and being able to be like, no, come in. What can you do? Let's fine tune those skills. Let's help you, do stuff and grow with this person and work with, not work for.
Work with, yes, work with. And then just knowing that everybody, and when people give you even an opportunity like that, like if Coach Jay is gonna give you an opportunity like that, to me, I will take that one very seriously because I know that some people say, yeah, I also want it, like I want it, I can do it, but then what they're talking doesn't match with their actions, so I think we have to also be very careful that sometimes people say, yeah, I want to do it, but they really haven't put the work into it. And you have to be careful with that, and that's only my only advice to you, because I know you're a very nice person too, and you don't want to be nice. People get taken advantage of so much, you know what I mean?
And I appreciate that. But that's why you work with people who will see that coming and be like,
I see you. I see that. We're not doing that.
Yeah. No. I'll have the right people in that position, so I don't have to do it because they're the expert of doing that, right? So
yes.
But it's all about like creating a good atmosphere and creating opportunities that everyone can learn. Right, LUA. We can learn it together. We can understand it together. We can apply it together. My good friend Chris Chen taught me that, and he says if you can learn that at every step of life, then it just makes the task and the goal that everybody has within that organization or company that much greater because they're involved in it, right?
And then just always remember that. With that said, we have to take care of ourselves. So even for our listeners, young listeners, and even adults, people, anybody, remember that in order for you to help many people too, you have to make sure that you're okay. You have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself mentally, and you're strong, and you're able to actually, what's it called, put yourself in that position that if anything was to happen, you are not gonna fall hard, you know what I mean, and you're just gonna go under depression or anything like that.
100%.
And I find that very it's something very important that I've even done. You have to always self-educate yourself. Don't wait for somebody to tell you yes, you're doing that right, or no. And also don't wait for anybody to say, yes, you're good enough, because if you know yourself that you're good enough and you know what you bring into the table, you're a good individual, you can go anywhere, you know what I mean? And that goes with our young viewers, that I just want to tell you that yes, you are worth trying whatever it is that you want to try.
100%.
Just go, and if use your imagination, if something that you like, whether it is nails, right, try go coloring nails to all your family, see like what it is that they're doing. If you like, because I see so many young kids who are very, very talented in music or singing or rapping, keep writing, keep doing it, and just keep making yourself stronger and stronger and stronger, and educating yourself and learning to reach out to the right people too. But just like Coach Jay, like we all go through some hardship in our life, but with that, he is a personal trainer. He actually helps many people. He helps the young kids too, and he wants to be able to help younger kids too, because there's the obesity rate of young kids is pretty bad.
It's getting up there.
So educating yourself is very, very important. Finding people like Coach Jay on social media, if you really want to like watch social media, watch him do workouts, follow
Thank you.
that, doing working out, you know what I mean? So do it like that. And also I want to say that follow Gary Vee, because
Yeah.
before Gary Vee, you know, like I was following other people, but Gary Vee keeps it 100% real. 100% real. And he keeps it very honest too. So I think that that's a good start for you to go and do, you know, your own research. So it's important for that. Coach, do you have anything
100%.
else to say?
No, man, you know, Rosa, it's nice to sit here and hear the young people speak as elegant as you. You know, for somebody who didn't know how to speak English and now where you're sitting, it's absolutely amazing. And it shows that you've put into time and effort, you know, to educate yourself and wanting to, you know, one thing we can't teach as coaches and as trainers, we can't teach worth ethic. We can't teach that. That comes from a person's internal. That's your genetic makeup, right?
Yes.
It's either something's going to happen to you in your life and you're going to say, no, I better get my act together, or you're going to see your parents struggle or your grandparents, whoever was raising you, and you're going to be like, man, if I don't win, it's going to be bad. And it's unfortunate because in a lot of cases, sometimes that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But where a child or an individual has the opportunity to make those small changes, and it's very small, right?
Very small. Yeah. And that's the other thing, goals, right? Right. Like even for younger kids, I know sometimes these things might be like, oh my gosh, that's so much information. Oh my gosh, that's so overwhelming. Okay. So this is the thing. Yeah,
You
I know,
gotta have
right?
them.
Look, I have my book. I write everything down.
You gotta have
But
them. You got to.
just having weekly goals,
Yeah.
even daily goals,
Yes.
even monthly goals and a year goals, you know, just start small. If it's like one day at a time, okay, that's goals that you're achieving. So start from there, you know, everybody's different. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but you got to start somewhere.
You're 100%. You got to start
You know,
somewhere.
so but thank you, Coach. I
Oh,
appreciate
no
you being
problem.
here.
No problem.
And
Thanks for having me. This was great.
How did you like it? Good?
Oh, this was awesome. This was a great experience.
Yeah.
I love this.
Well, I wish you the best, and I know that you're gonna continue to do well with everybody.
Yeah.
And you know, I want to create also a community that is very comfortable with each other and respectful. You know, like always being respectful of each other too.
100%.
And just being sincere. Sincerity wins it all. So
yeah. No, I thank you, and listen, keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy everything that you're doing, because you got to enjoy the moment. You know, it's funny because yesterday I had read something and it says, take this minute to remember how far you came. And I literally stopped everything I was doing. I took a nap, which I never do. And I just appreciated yesterday for how far I actually have come. And I said, you know what, back to the grind today. I got to my, you know, I'm taking this online mentorship and entrepreneur with Grant Cardone, you know, about business, because now it's different. It's a different level, right?
Yes.
Now it's you know, I got to rise to a different level. So I got to, like you said, I got to educate myself and learn the tools and get the necessity things that I need in my life to not only better myself, but better everybody else around me. And it's important that I get those tools, right? So I got a minute yesterday to do that, and then and just enjoy that and enjoy that moment. But no, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing great. I love this. I'd love to do it again.
Yes,
and kind of inform you how far we've come and how far you've come.
Yeah,
right.
I know, right?
It's a great experience. So thank you so much to everybody listening or watching this. Thank you so much, because Rosa, honestly, like, you're going to do amazing. You are doing amazing, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. And that's the thing, like what you said, make sure that what it is that you're doing is fun. So this to me is fun. This is me. This is not nobody else. This is not anybody else telling me what to do or anything like that. This is just my own Latina, just my own truth, my own way of trying to bring more people together and just I don't know, just do something different, because there's so many kids who are Latinos and they're like, well, how can I do something? How can I become something? And
Right.
maybe I could be an example for them. And somebody like you who loves sports and, you know, even going through being in special ed classes, that didn't define you. If anything,
No.
that's actually making you a stronger individual. And you can see that it doesn't matter what you have or what you're going through. It is you. You're unique. You're
Yeah.
different, and it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So with all of that said, I know that we do have to remember how far we've come,
Yeah.
and because it's so easy to get lost in a bad moment too,
Yes.
because so many bad
100%.
things happen. But just knowing that I've come from just a country where I was homeless, from orphanage to coming here, getting an education, playing sports, and actually becoming something of myself and breaking the cycle of being an alcoholic or being homeless.
Yeah.
That's already a success in itself.
100%.
And I know that there is more. There's more to life, but later on we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and we'll share it. But thank you, Coach. I appreciate it, and I hope you have an awesome week. And
You as well, Rosa.
you
You as
know,
well.
people can
You as
follow
well.
you and follow him. You guys, he will
Yeah.
help you in something too if you're relatable to him. So I'll see you
Thank you
guys.
so
Okay.
much. All right, Rosa.
Okay. Bye, Coach.
Take care.
See you. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.